Hello, and thank you for joining me, Shanny Leigh, for this bedtime yoga flow. So it'll be yoga in bed, specifically geared towards when you want to fall asleep. And you can just do it whenever because you want to stretch before bed, and that's always great. Or maybe you've been having trouble sleeping and you just need a quick little guidance to help the body tap into our rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system. So I hope you enjoy. I hope this helps you feel better after a long day or helps you fall asleep easier. I myself have been struggling to fall asleep. This is actually my first video in Spain, so that's super exciting. I moved to Spain about 2 months ago, and I feel like I've been settling into that adjustment period when not everything's completely new. Everything's still going well, but it's just not the new and exciting. And so I've been feeling a little bit like I need something at night to kind of help the brain shut off, to help me be ready for the next day. So wherever you are at in life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I hope you find some help in this, and thank you for joining me, and I will see you in your bed. So we'll actually get started in Baddha Konasana against the wall. If your bed is against the wall, if not, just find a nice comfortable seat. Butterfly pose, soles of the feet together, knees out. Great thing about being in your bed is if your knees don't touch the bed, or if you need a little support, you can grab your pillows and lay them out as such. So I encourage you to find whatever position is comfortable for you. Maybe your hands come into your lap. Maybe they're at heart center. And let's connect with the breath here a little bit. Maybe you reflect back on your day. And let's focus on the things that went well today. What brought you joy? Starting off with a little meditation here. This isn't it, but I come from a Jesuit background, Jesuit education, which is the Catholic Church, so Catholic education, and one of the practices is to do an examen at the end of the day to reflect back on the day. So this isn't exactly it, but that idea of looking at what went well, looking at maybe where we need to ask for grace or more patience, whatever word works for you, and reflecting on how we want to enter our day tomorrow. So let's take a little bit more time here with what went well. Maybe about 3 things, maybe 5, maybe 20 things went well today. As we slow down the breath here, starting to take deeper inhales and exhales. And now I encourage you to look at the parts of your day where maybe you struggled, maybe you had a tough spot in your day, maybe you wish you would have had a little more patience, maybe you just need a little more grace if that word resonates with you. So let's call those moments to mind. Not with judgment, right? Yoga is not about judging, it's about observing. And if you feel any negative emotions rising up with them, try to acknowledge that they're there and let them pass. Easier said than done, right? Maybe nothing went wrong today, quote unquote wrong. I think we can always improve though. So let's take one more round of breath with that thought. And on your exhale, let it go, okay? Let's do that one more time. Nice big inhale. And we'll let it all go on the exhale. And now thinking of those moments, how do you want to enter your day tomorrow? We can do a little bit more deep of a reflection or a deeper reflection at the end, but just start to think in general. And since we'll touch on it again, take one more round of breath there. And let's let it all go again. 2 more times. Nice big inhale. Leaving the day behind. Exhale. Last time. If your eyes were closed, maybe you start to gently flutter them open. Let's invite a smile to our face. Be grateful that we had another day to try to do what we can. And as you're ready, maybe start to unwind your mudra, whatever that is. Maybe start to wiggle the fingers, just inviting some gentle movement. And on your next inhale, arms reach up into the sky. And maybe you interlace your fingers, maybe you push them up, maybe you just rest your hands on your head, whatever feels good. One more round of breath here, either reaching for the ceiling, and then take your right hand, drop it down beside you, and begin to lean towards the right. And your hand can reach. If you want to do something a little more gentle, you can put your hand on your head. One more round of breath here, and then we'll get off of our bums since we've probably been on them for a good amount today, or maybe not. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, take it to the other side. I moved to Spain to study a master's in public health, and I sit a lot since I have about 4 hours of class a day on top of homework. One more round of breath here. And then start to inhale, lift it up, and we'll fold forward, exhale. Bow the head. And continue to find your nice deep breaths. The slower and deeper we breathe, the more we start to activate our parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest, the opposite of fight and flight. Let's take one more round of breath here. And if you can do it nice and smooth, great. If not, that's fine. We will roll into Balasana. I'm going to move so you can see my profile better, but toes together, knees out, and maybe you create a little pillow, or maybe you just spread all the way out. Settling in here for a few rounds of breath. Enjoying that, or I should say, aprovechar in Spanish, Spanglish really. Taking advantage of the fact that we are on a soft surface, that maybe we have a little more range of motion or mobility or less pressure as we move through things. Let's take one more round of breath here, child's pose. And then wherever your hands are, start to stretch them out. And then we'll move into Cobra. Start to lift the body up, adjust the knees under you, and then drop your hips as you shine your chest forward. Maybe you look up. I get a lot of low back pain, so I love these stretches. Do one more round of breath here. Nice and slow and gentle, not my usual power flows. Breathe it out, start to tuck your core and lift your hips, and then take your hands underneath your shoulders to find your tabletop pose. Moving into cow and cat here. Take a second, maybe wiggle something out if you need to. And then find stillness, knees under hips. On your inhale, drop your belly as you sway your back like a cow, gazing up, still trying to shine the chest forward like you did in Cobra. And on the exhale, arch your back up like your cat and tuck your chin. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. If you have any wrist pain, you can be on your elbows. And exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Come back to your tabletop. And if you don't have a lot of room, we'll move in a downward facing dog, but you can keep your knees super bent if you want. It's not gonna be a pretty dog, but that's fine. So tuck your toes, start to lift your hips up, and then start to try to push your ears by your biceps. So if your knees are super bent here, that's totally fine, right? They don't have to be nice and straight. What we want is more of a flat back. Long line from your tailbone to the crown of your head. If you feel yourself putting a lot of weight in the heels of your hands, try to push it more towards your fingers. Now maybe it's a little weird doing downward facing dog in your bed. If that doesn't work, you can just do child's pose again, sitting the hips back. Knees down. Let's just take 1 round of breath here. Let something out on the the exhale. And then on the inhale, lift your right knee up a little bit, but not too much, and start to move your body forward. Drop your right knee onto your bed so that it's right in front of your left. And now we'll sit our hips back towards Gomukhasana pose. Cow-faced pose. So if that doesn't work for you, you can bring your left foot on your bed and cross your right ankle over your left knee. Otherwise, find a cow-face pose and sit up nice and tall here. And exhale, side out. Getting nice into the hips. Again, if we've been sitting a lot like I have all day. If you want to add some touch, maybe that's your love language, you can give yourself a little bit of love. I invite you to bring your hands to your feet if you don't have like a weird foot phobia or anything, and maybe give yourself a little bit of a massage. No, it's not the same as getting a professional one or someone else who's good at giving it to you, but we do what we can, right? I think there's a lot to say in knowing how to meet our own needs sometimes, or self-soothe. Without forgetting that we are also part of a community and we need each other. Feeling very philosophical tonight, if you can't tell. It's just, if you are giving yourself a little foot massage, stop and just let your hands come to your feet. If not, just bring them somewhere else on your body and just find that touch. Close your eyes. Try to find grounding in the feel of your own presence. Just take 1 more round of breath. And then slowly start to lift your arms up again. Coming back towards our tabletop, rock your body forward. Straighten out your left leg, tuck your toes to lift your hips so you can unwind your legs. Come back to your version of downward facing dog in the bed. Maybe walk it out. And we'll do that on the other side. Exhale, find stillness, and not lifting leg too much, but just a bit to bend the knee, lift the left leg, start to shift your body forward so that you can drop your left knee right in front of the right one, and sit your hips back. And if this doesn't serve you, right foot on the bed, left ankle over right knee, to find a seated pigeon pose. We're just trying to get into the hips here. So sitting up nice and tall. And again, let's bring our hands back to our feet. Maybe you do your little foot massage, or maybe you just find presence. Coming back to the breath. Maybe we've lost sight of it. If you feel your mind wandering, I invite you to recall your day again, all the good moments that happened, right? Even if it was a really bad day, there's always at least one little ray of light. Hopefully not, but we all have those days. And who knows, maybe it was a great day and you have a lot to rejoice. Just take one more round of breath here. And then arms lift up and take it back forward. Take your body back into your downward facing dog. That wasn't a great cue, my apologies. This is also the first time I've taught, quote unquote, in 2 months, so if my cues are a little funky, that is why I myself am getting back into this. As long as I've gone. So go one more round of breath here. And then start to bend your knees. Exhale, sit them down, untuck the toes. And if you know you have a lot of pressure, this is where you can also use a pillow. And you can sit yourself right down on it if you want. Or you don't need the pillow if you don't want to use it. So coming into Vajrasana pose. I actually think for me it feels better with the pillow, so I'm going to put that there. Let's take a few rounds of breath here. Again, the point of this is to go nice and slow. Maybe your hands are on your legs, maybe they are in your lap, maybe they're heart center. Now let's take a moment here. Bow your heads. And let's remember again all those ways that maybe we needed to find a little more grace, a little more love, more patience. And that can be with someone else, or that can be with ourselves, right? A lot of times it's probably with ourselves. I like to have my hands, palms up in my lap, as if I'm asking the universe to give, right? As if I'm ready to receive. Receive all the ways that we can try to be a bit better tomorrow. Or who knows, maybe you had a really hard day, and this is the space when you can think about all those ways that you showed grace and compassion and patience and all those things to yourself or someone else today. Let's take one more moment here. And then start to bring the head back to center, arms reach up, inhale, and release the fingers, bring them behind your head, keep your core in if you notice your back super swaying, and open your elbows, maybe you gaze up. Maybe we spend a lot of time driving or in a commute or at the office, virtual or not. Let's just do one more round of breath here. And let it go. Start to lift up enough so you can take the pillow out from under you if you have it. Sit your hips down, swing your legs out straight. And this is another great place to use the pillow if you want. You can bring it up under your knees, probably folding over. But since I have the bed, I feel like the cushion kind of does the same. So you choose what you want. Arms reach up and Paschimottanasana, forward fold, reach for your feet if you arrive there. Other variations is you can have your fists underneath your knees, or you can have your legs bent. Reconnect with your breath. So this is more of like a yin inspired type of flow almost than my usual vinyasa. Nice long deep stretches. I know sometimes movement feels better when your mind is spinning, but it also needs stillness. do one more round of breath here. And then slowly start to roll it up. And we're going to come on to our back. So if that just means you can roll right back, you can. I can't. So I'm gonna switch it around, come onto your back here, hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a little rock. And then as you're ready, you start to find stillness. Let your hands come down by your sides, legs shoot up into the sky. Maybe you do some ankle rolls. And then to continue to get into the hips, cross your right ankle over your left knee, or you can cross them completely if that feels better, knee over knee. And then either bend both knees and grab your shins, or if you're doing the pigeon, reach in the hole that your legs create. And find a grab around your shin near your ankle. If your foot's available, you can grab that too. But only if you're not like compromising everything to reach it. Sorry for the sound effect, that was probably not super peaceful. You can find movement here if you like. I don't know if it's because I was rocked to sleep as a baby or if just in general rocking is calming, but it is, and so sometimes I like to find that type of movement. I'm sure we were all rocked to sleep, but my parents told me that was my number one way to quiet down. Let's take one more round of breath here. I shouldn't say all of us were rocked to sleep, probably many of us. And exhale, release both legs, go up into the sky, and let's find whatever bind you had on the other side. So maybe left ankle over right knee, maybe you're crossing knee over knee and reaching for your shins, or between your legs. Either way, find what feels good for you. And maybe you sit in stillness. Maybe you just remain here in this moment. I actually feel like I should probably do that. So it's okay. Usually I just say try to do the same thing on one side as the other, but also listen to your body. And if suddenly you feel like you need to just be still when you are moving, be still. Let's take one more round of breath here. And then start to release your hands, stretch your legs back up, and now start to bring your knees into your armpits, grab the soles of your feet, Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. I think here's a great way to do a little check-in. A lot of times we reach forward and are internally rotating everything when we want to practice opening and externally rotating everything. So notice if the outsides of your shoulders are reaching towards your bed or if they're reaching up. And if they are reaching up, try to open the chest. Same with the hips. Are the outsides of the hips reaching towards the bed? They might not get there, but that's okay. Just being more aware since we have a little more cushion. Let's do one more round of breath here. And then start to bring your knees together again. And now you can let your left leg go out long. If it's falling off the bed, that's okay. And then take your left hand onto your right knee, guide it over towards the left. Let your right hand come like a cactus if you don't have a lot of room. If you have a lot of room, you can spread it out like a T. Gazing over your right shoulder, twisting your body towards the left. Let's just do one more moment here. And then bring it back center, bring both knees in, stretch the right leg out. And then right hand comes to the outside of your left knee. The left hand comes like your cactus, or it's out as a T if you have enough room for that. We'll do 2 more rounds of breath here. Nice and slow. Let it out. Slowly come back to center. And now if you do have a wall, we're gonna scooch towards it. If you don't, you can bring your knees into your air, or you can bring the soles of your feet together and find reclined butterfly pose. But if you do have a wall, I invite you to move your booty to it and to bring your legs up. And here's a great place where if you have a pillow and you want to hold on to it, you can, if that's comforting to you. You don't have to. And this is where we will finish, being here for a few more moments. So I invite you to settle into whatever your final pose is. You can even have your legs in a V if you really want, but the idea here is to just remain. A friend here who does speak English wanted to say just wait, and they said just remain instead, and I actually prefer it. I think it's pretty beautiful. I think it has a lot more meaning. And so now here's the part where we revisit, how do we want to be better tomorrow? Or maybe where can we find more patience, or how can we, however you want to enter the day tomorrow, if you don't like the idea of better. How do you want to start your morning? What's one thing you can do for you? Maybe it is a meditation before you start the day. Maybe it's a morning bedtime yoga. I will eventually have a video for that now that I have a bed big enough to film on. Maybe it's drinking a cup of coffee or tea, or maybe only one instead of two if you're trying to cut down. Again, no judgment, right? Not judging our actions, just observing. What's one thing you can do tomorrow to enter the day well, or be in the day well? As we let our blood slowly flow and concentrate back more towards our central organs, towards our heart. I'll take 5 more rounds of breath here. Nice and slow. Three more rounds, maybe Ujjayi breath if you know that. Last round of breath. And as you're ready, you can slowly start to wiggle your toes. If you have your pillow, you can slowly take it off. If you're on the wall, bring your knees into your chest and let yourself roll back to one side. Maybe you just fall asleep right here and turn the phone off, or whatever you're watching this video, and pushing it off to the side. You don't have to come back up to a seat. You can stay right where you are with this mantra. Just remain. I thank you for remaining here with me. I wish you the best in the day to come. And whatever you are carrying, I hope you can leave it behind and find whatever you need to have the day that you want tomorrow. The light in me loves the light in all of you. Namaste.